Good evening, and thanks for spending your Sunday night with us. I'm Brooke Buckner here with meteorologist Simone Thomas, and if you think it's cold outside now, just you wait a couple of days. You're going to want to bundle up.
You know what? I'm already begging for the Midwest to take their weather back because I'm not having a fun time.
I've had enough, honestly.
And we haven't even got started. Here's what we're tracking through the start of the work week. We already have a winter storm watch in effect for northern and north central Arkansas. This is for Tuesday. Now, this does include some of our counties. That's Van Buren, Cleburne, White, Woodruff, Jackson counties, and as well as Independence County just to our north. Now, even after the winter weather moves out of here on Wednesday, we've got some extreme cold returning, likely spending 60 to 80 hours below freezing as early as Tuesday evening, and I think at best some places getting above freezing on Friday. But that's why we have that weather impact alert in effect for right now, Tuesday and Wednesday, because that's actually when the wintry weather will start to fall. But those cold temperatures are going to stick around through the end of the work week. So all the details on the week ahead and a preview to next weekend coming up in your 11-day outlook.
Thanks, Simone. And with temperatures dropping, you're going to want to make sure to stay warm. Tonight, if you or someone you know needs a place to stay, North Little Rock Community Center is now open until 8 in the morning. Anyone considering going is encouraged to bring your own snacks, drinks, and entertainment. Pets are also welcome. Little Rock also has a warming shelter open at the Dunbar Community Center until 8 a.m. tomorrow. No identification is required, and pets are also welcome there. The city says they will likely announce more hours early in the week. This is a list of other community centers in Little Rock that are open during the winter. Each of these will be open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pine Bluff's warming shelter will open at 3 p.m. tomorrow at Opportunity House. Just like the others, no ID is required, but pets are not allowed here. And in Saline County, a shelter is opening Tuesday at 6 p.m. until Thursday at noon. It will be located at Northside Church of Christ. If you already have a place to stay but would like to volunteer, you can call the number on your screen. That number also works for anyone who needs help or just has a question. And if you already have a place to stay, you'll want to make sure to prepare before the winter weather gets here. When it comes to your home, you'll want to remember to drip your faucets and open your cabinet doors under the sink to allow heat to enter. This will help make sure your pipes don't freeze. You'll also want to cover your outside hose bit. And when it comes to your car, try to park in a garage if you can. Make sure to check your car battery and your fluids to make sure you aren't stuck in the cold when the winter weather hits. And finally, check that tire pressure. The cold weather can make your tires lose air quickly. Weather is the story for many across the country as a band of heavy snow hit Kentucky this morning, killing at least 8 people. The state has issued an emergency disaster declaration, and Governor Andy Beshear spoke today about the statewide flooding and says the state is still in search and rescue phase. He also urged those in the Commonwealth to stay off the roads.
But one way that you can help us out to ensure we have as few fatalities as possible is don't get on the roadways. Now, give time for the water to go down. So many of these fatalities were due to attempts to drive through water and through moving water. So folks, stay off the roads right now and stay alive. We need your help.
Some parts of the state have seen as much as 6 inches of rain. A similar story over in Tennessee. The rain and flooding actually got so bad that first responders had to evacuate a nursing home in the northern part of the state. Macon County Sheriff Joey Wilburn says he's proud of the work done to make sure everyone is safe.
This is Macon County at its best. I mean, everybody come together to work and get it done. I mean, get everybody to safety. We're all coming together, working together. I mean, this is what we prepare for.
And here's video from West Virginia, where they also saw heavy rain and tornadoes. You can see here the heavy flooding led to someone losing their car. Luckily, nobody was in the vehicle and nobody was hurt. And a crime alert in Jefferson County tonight as a woman faces charges for bringing contraband into the Dub Brassel Adult Detention Center. 20-year-old Tamara Haltewanger is now behind bars after a jail supervisor found her with 7 ounces of tobacco and about 3 ounces of suspected marijuana. Haltewanger was at the jail as part of the Clean Team program, which allows people to work at the facility as part of their sentence rather than being detained in the facility. She is charged with possessing contraband and drugs with the intent to deliver. The president is now headed to Mar-a-Lago, where he will stay for a few days, but before heading out, he was asked about when overseas conflicts may get resolved.
Well, we're working to get it done. I mean, it's too bad it started. It would have been a lot easier to end it before it started, right? But it started because we had an incompetent president that he didn't know what he was doing. That should have never started. That war was so easy to stop.
Meanwhile, protests were held at several Tesla facilities across the country this weekend, with demonstrators voicing their opinions about the company's CEO, Elon Musk, his task force, and the Department of Government Efficiency. This is video from a protest in San Diego, but similar demonstrations were held in New York, Austin, and Minneapolis, among many others. Construction crews, a welcome sight for some still in the area after the Palisades fire destroyed much of the community, and last week's storm added to the destruction. Here's more on the recovery efforts currently underway.
Removing mounds of mud that flowed down from the burn scar onto Palisades Drive during last week's storm. And starting phase 2 debris removal at Palisades Charter High School. These construction crews are a welcome sight for some of the remaining people who are still in town after watching flames destroy so much of this coastal community.
Seeing all the cleanup and everybody come together to work hard to bring this community back up it's definitely giving glimmers of hope.
Kelsey Simon was working at a gas station here in January when the Palisades fire started. It was an essential stop for so many as they escaped the flames.
It was just really scary. Everybody was coming in really scared, and we were trying to be there for the community and stay open as long as possible to make sure everybody was able to get out safely and get gas.
Over a month later, she says this is one of few businesses that are still open here. The Army Corps of Engineers is overseeing private property debris removal on the campus in an accelerated plan to rebuild from the LA fires with unprecedented speed. But some residents are concerned that speed could jeopardize their health. FEMA announced it's removing only the top 6 inches of soil from burned properties and not testing for toxins. FEMA says in writing, in part, this is because contamination deeper than 3 to 6 inches is unlikely to be attributable to the fire itself and does not pose an immediate threat to public health and safety. Decisions regarding additional soil testing and over-excavation are left to state and local authorities.
We're now halfway through Black History Month, a time to reflect on monumental figures in African American history. Some key moments even happened right here in Central Arkansas. THV 11's Maya Ellison gives us a closer look.
There's a saying that says, if you don't know where you've come from, you won't know where you are going.
From Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to Daisy Bates, their influence helped generations learn the stepping stones of African American history. During the month of February, Black history is celebrated, honoring the trials and tribulations that were faced in history's past, present, and even future.
Black History Month was started by Mr. Carter G. Woodson to set aside time to highlight the impact that African Americans have held here in the United States.
And it's even felt here in the Central Arkansas area. Tiffany Pettis is a historian for the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission. She's done extensive research and studying on Black history right here in the natural state.
One place that we can start is the Historic Arkansas Museum, and there's documentations of slaves there who resided there in the oldest neighborhood, who of course worked on that plantation.
And that opened the door for other historical moments decades later, like the integration of Central High School, where 9 African American students, also known as the Little Rock Nine, were able to attend classes even after facing an angry mob just days before.
Today, our children, we can go into any school and we can sit with children of various cultures because of the sacrifices that they made and so many others.
Not too far from Central High School is Bethel AME. It was the church home of 4 Little Rock Nine members, but also became a symbol of hope for the Black community for decades.
Bethel AME Church was established in 1864. It was originally called Campbell AME. The name was later changed and would find itself being located at the corner of 9th and Broadway in what was our version, Little Rock's version, of a Black Wall Street, if you will.
Mr. Scott Green knows the story all too well. As a trustee of the church, he says its role is one of the things that makes up Black history, showing how Black churches, businesses, schools, and communities came to be.
We stand on their shoulders, and so we are experiencing those benefits from their bravery, their courage.
In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Maya. And tomorrow is Daisy Bates Day, honoring the life and legacy of a mentor to the Little Rock 9 members and a longtime civil rights leader. Tonight, the Jack and Jill of America Foundation holding their annual Youth Excellence Awards, and our very own Journey Taylor was the MC tonight. The awards are dedicated to honor students excelling in one or multiple fields. The foundation says they hope recognizing and celebrating students' achievements will inspire and empower the next generation of leaders.
With us being a mom-based organization, it was important for us to recognize our children and all of the things that they do, whether it's civic, cultural, legislative, whether it's entrepreneurship, sports, and education. We wanted to carve out a space for them to be celebrated and acknowledged.
AI is seemingly everywhere, but it could never deliver food, right? Well, after the break, we'll tell you why that may not be the case, as Uber Eats is saying the future is now.
Now, winter weather isn't the only concern this week. Dangerous cold, another concern. This is a look at Thursday morning wind chill values. 5 to 10 degrees below zero could be expected in central Arkansas. More details on the week ahead are coming up right after the break.